Hello, everyone. This is Pamela Miles hosting our global self practice today from Manhattan, the Upper West Side. And at this point, please do make yourself comfortable. You don't have to worry about your mind when you're self practicing because you're safe with yourself. But you also want your body to be comfortable. I was just watching the US Open and Alcaraz advanced. So that was no surprise, but it's always delightful to watch him. But earlier today, I watched Jess Pula, who is an American. She's a New Yorker. I've always enjoyed her tennis and her presence because even before I knew where she was from, she just seemed so down to earth and straightforward and practical. And she hasn't been one of the megastars of tennis, but she's always up there, and she's now 31. I watched an interview with her, and she was saying how grateful she is to be healthy and that it wasn't always like that for her, that she used to get injured a lot, be hurt a lot, or be sick and have lots of reasons why she couldn't play. And it was no fun for any of us. But if you're an elite athlete who is used to moving your body a lot, who has that drive, which I certainly don't have. I'm not an elite athlete by any stretch of the imagination. But if you do have that drive in you and you're immobilized or you're depleted, it's got to be really rough. She said that when she was 24, she took a good look at what she was doing and how she could change this. And she said, it's not that she was doing anything wrong. It's that she wasn't doing enough. Now, this is the point where I would love to be able to say, and then she started practicing Reiki, but I don't know that. She's never mentioned Reiki in any of the interviews I've read. But the idea of self care, that she was already taking care of herself and she realized it was insufficient. It was good, but not as much as she needed. And when she changed that and she not only added more good self care, practical self care into her regimen, she also said, I particularly love this. She started listening to her body more instead of listening to other people. She listening to herself more, and that it completely turned her health around. And she is now able to count on being able to make it through the season. I hope that you'll contemplate that. And I, of course, am devoted to Reiki self practice. I practice every morning. I practice before I get out of bed. I practice before I open my eyes because I know that once you get going, it's harder to stop, decide to practice. So every morning, as I begin to become aware of myself, my hands move to my body for my Reiki self practice. And it's very quiet and it's very meditative, just naturally meditative. Although, of course, every morning session is different because every morning when I practice, I'm a little different. But by the time I finish practicing, I feel ready and I feel enthusiastic about the day. So please do something for me. Take a look at how you're taking care of yourself. Take a look first at your Reiki self practice. Are you practicing every day? Practicing every day makes a difference. Like eating every day makes a difference. Like sleeping well every night makes a difference. Like brushing your teeth every day, not just when you feel like it, makes a difference. If you're not practicing on yourself every day, why? Is it because the way that you like to go through a self practice is very detailed? Maybe there's a lot of ritual and it's just too much to do every day. then maybe you'll want to take something from our practice today and do that on days when you don't have as much time as you need to do your usual practice. See what you can do to move yourself into daily self practice. Maybe you're going through the motions, which is still good, or maybe you could be practicing a little bit longer. So take inventory. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's September, the weather is changing quite rapidly, and it always feels to me like the start of the year, much more so than January 1st does. Think of what will help you get through the winter, feeling good, feeling like yourself, feeling creative and joyful. And I bet daily self practice is a part of that. This is how I start: hands on the crown of my head, either like this, or I rest my elbows on the table and do this, and then hands to the face. Then I bring the heels of my hands, the upper wrists together, and cup my hands lightly around my throat, then the back of the head, which is very much like this placement. And your hands are at the back of your head instead, on your skull, not down on the neck. Then the upper chest, then the lower ribs. So your fingertips are meeting. If you slide your finger down your sternum, and right where that ends, you have your fingertips there. You can call that your solar plexus. Then fingertips at the navel, and we end with our hands on our lower abdomen, fingertips resting on the pubic bone. I want to share with you something that I found just as I was setting up for our practice today, that was shared with me after practicing in a program that I lead called Better Boundaries, which I'll be giving early in November to get you all ready for Thanksgiving, my fellow Americans. I'm feeling relieved that I've realized that this is a season of tending to me and my healing, that I need all of my resources and reserves right now for this period of my life. And honestly, that feels uncomfortable for me. And yet I also feel clear and firm in that realization, realizing I don't want to give from a place of overextension anymore. And so I'm willing to take the discomfort it brings. Thank you. Realizing perhaps that when we give from a place of overextension, we're also giving the vibration of overextension. We're not able to give fully from love when we're overextended. So, what about making this a season of healing for you, and looking to see what resources you can dedicate to that? Let me share with you the words that have come up. But before I do that, I do want to make the point that this is not a Reiki class. I can't teach you to practice Reiki in such a short amount of time. And I'd be very skeptical of anybody who says that they can, because there's no way that's a comprehensive training. And if you don't have a comprehensive training, you're not going to realize the value. And if you don't realize the value, you're not motivated to practice, right? If you haven't had a proper Reiki training, what you've been doing is not Reiki practice, it's a light touch self-care practice. And you see already the benefit. And then if you take a Reiki training, me or with someone else, you'll find that your capacity and your response greatly expands. So here are the words: centered, thankful, flow, peace, relax. There it is. I knew somebody would say it. Immersed in nature. You know, that's so true. Being in nature feels very much like a Reiki practice. Breathing easier, round, delight, beloved, beautiful word, beloved, calm, light, light again, delight and light, breathe easy, and peace, loving, wonderful words from everyone. So watch for the email that you'll get in about an hour. The world is a chaotic place. There's so much going on, and our peace of mind has never been more important than it is right now. Some people think of peace of mind the way they think about falling in love, like they wait for it to happen to them. But your awareness of the peace that exists within you always is something you can build. And practice helps you build that pathway so that you can spend more time in a peaceful state and be active. But we can be peaceful and be active and dynamic and productive at the same time. In fact, more creative and more productive when that is what is needed of us. So that takes practice, and look to see what practice you could commit to on a daily basis. And if you have trouble imagining that, I'm very happy to help you. Also, I believe it's chapter 9 of my book, Reiki, A Comprehensive Guide, is about your continuing practice. So there are lots of tips in there too. Remember that your first boundary is around your self-care. That's most important. The boundary around your self-care is the boundary around your health, your happiness, your peacefulness, your ability to share with others in a genuine way, in a way that doesn't cost you anything, where you're yourself and you're able to give to others as is appropriate rather than running after people pleasing. I'm here to help you. I have a class coming up, and I will send you the link to find out more about that if you're interested in that email. Thank you so much for being with us. So lots of love. Please take good care of yourself, and bye for now.